I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not?
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. It feels like the entire world is just a little bit spiky, a little bit bristly. Bristly. How people are sensitive, people are worried, people are heavy. Everything feels so sudden and so dramatic and here and now, and the pressure is on for people to do anything, for people to perform, to exist, and to do it the right way or else. There's a big, gigantic or else hanging over everybody. And that's affecting the way I see us talk. It's affecting the way I see us hang out with each other. It's affecting the way we disagree and understand the world. And it's affecting the way that I see artists talking. They've been weighed down by expectations and failures and misunderstandings. They've been weighed down by what they never could have been, what we never could have been. And I wanted a break, I think. I've been engaging with two pieces of media recently. Kingdom Hearts 1 and Long Way Home. You may know these. I wonder if you'd know these. But there's something very particular about them that I want to talk about. Oh my God, my eye. So I want to figure out what it is about these two pieces of media that I'm just enjoying so much right now. And the first thing that comes to mind is nostalgia. And I don't know if I'm just being nostalgic or if these things are really good. When I was a kid, the first game I got with my PlayStation 2 was Kingdom Hearts 1. Back then, I was, 6, 7, maybe? And I had never really seen a 3D game before. This was my first experience with something so spectacular, so colorful and bright and silly and fun.
You see, darkness is the heart's true essence.
That's not true!
I knew the characters and the worlds that I would visit, and I got to hang out with Jack Skellington, which was just the coolest thing ever to me. I spent my childhood obsessed with Kingdom Hearts 1. I would draw the characters, play the games whenever I could, and I even used to make anime music videos. The first one I ever made was of Kingdom Hearts 1, and no, I don't have it. It is lost to time, and even if I did have it, it's probably like 4x4 pixels. That's how bad it was. Windows 95 Movie Maker, boom. I think what was so amazing about this game was that I genuinely cared about it. Like, I changed the way I dressed, and I would recite the cutscenes from it. Like, there's no way you're taking Kairi's heart is burned into my brain for the rest of my life because that Riku battle is just too tough. Oh. Basically, I learned a lot from this game, and it was very sweet and very kind, and I wanted to be that. It's why I dressed up like a complete nerd, while I would sew pockets and checks to everything I had, while I would try to put zips where zips did not belong, and why I got bullied because of it. And that's why I stopped. That's why I stopped expressing myself with clothes when I was a little kid, because the world around me was mean and harsh. And even in my alternative space, I had to fit in. And at the same time I was discovering Sora, Riku, and Kairi, I first met Ewan McGregor, probably the same way a lot of you did.
Let's make love.
Come on. Of course, I was a kid when Star Wars Episode 1 came out. I was about as old as Anakin was in that film, so I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And yes, Yoda in Episode 2 with the lightsaber flipping about was one of the coolest things ever as well. You cannot tell me it wasn't. So that was my first instance of Ewan McGregor. That then went on to films like Big Fish, and of course Moulin Rouge, which ended up becoming my favorite film for most of my life. I based so much of my personality on Christian, which is hilarious to think now because he's a very problematic boy. Ooh, my poor ex-girlfriends, I tell you that. Oh, All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is just a game. Ewan McGregor's entire career has been one of genuine sweetness and sincerity and kindness and earnestness and warmth, excluding Train Spotting. But in general, his whole career has been building up this kind of personality that is inviting and warm and kind of quirky. And this is what brings me to Long Way Home. Because this show was built out of that DNA. I'll let Ewan McGregor explain it to you better than I could, because he does at the start of this season.
My name is Ewan McGregor, and in 2004, my best friend Charlie and I rode around the Northern Hemisphere and documented our trip on a series called The Long Way Round. We left London, we rode to New York City. And it was one of the highlights of my life. And in 2007, we decided to do it again down through the African continent. And we left London and we rode to Cape Town. Unbelievable. And then in 2019, we rode from the tip of South America, Ushuaia, to Los Angeles. And this time we decided to ride on electric motorcycles. Hey! So, we've decided to do it again.
And what I love about this series is that he just revels in the wonder around him.
Beautiful free camping here in Norway. I'm just so attuned to somebody turning up going, you can't do that here. Makes such a massive difference. Look at this, come on. This is lovely. Spectacular.
Spectacular!
And he just appreciates everything and everyone he comes across. Him and Charlie both have this wonderful, warm, bro kind of relationship that you envy. It's so sweet and devoid of sarcasm, and you don't need wit. You don't need a dry humor. It's just nice. So then let me ask, am I craving a kind of sincerity? Being an artist for so long, it kind of does something to you. I've seen friends of mine grow detached from their dreams and ambitions.
Every light must fade. Every heart return to darkness.
I've seen every rejection and failure and unmet expectation just chip away at them bit by bit by bit. And now when I talk to them, I sense a compromise they never wanted. One that they're convinced is good for them, and it probably is. It's probably far more healthy for them. I think that's a big part of growing up, is growing up and realizing that the things you wanted as a teenager in your 20s, probably not the best thing for your life or your mental health or the world around you. No, I'm trying to be sincere. I'm trying to be honest and earnest, because that's what this whole video is about. But it's hard, man. It's hard to be so raw and honest. And I guess if that's what makes a good artist, then it's something that you kind of gotta force. You gotta get used to it. You gotta be honest with yourself and then communicate that honesty with other people. And that's hard, and it's embarrassing, and it's cringy, and that's a weight I never thought I'd have to carry.
Ba-ba-da-ba. So we're doing the cold water plunge now.
Not so long ago, I had a very interesting conversation with somebody I would consider wise. He's worked in the music industry for a very long time, to a very high success. And just talking with him revealed a lot to me. He didn't say anything different. It was me. I acted differently when I was around him, and I understood the world differently when I was around him. And one of the things I realized is that I was being held back by the concept called notions. Now, notions in Ireland is kind of like a socially enforced cringe. It's to stop people getting too big for their boots. It's to stop people believing in themselves too much. Now, that may sound kind of crappy to you. It may sound kind of mean. It may sound kind of sad. But I think it holds a very important function in our culture, or at least it used to. You see, Ireland is a post-colonial country. And post-colonial countries have some very particular characteristics. There's usually a lot of neurodivergence in post-colonial countries. There's usually a lot of mismanagement of resources and of organization because we're dealing with a system that we've inherited, not one that we developed ourselves. And another part of post-colonial cultures is a kind of shame.
It's a little bit funny. This
Kind of shame for your own culture. It's this weird mixture of we have to love our own identity, but not too much, because that's what got us in trouble before. So culturally, we remember, don't be too much of yourself or you'll be singled out. You'll be picked out of the crowd and you'll be made an example of. And I think this is where we get our concept of notions from in Ireland, because we didn't used to be like this. Like if you look back in our old stories, the way they were described by the monks, Irish culture, if you could have a unified Irish culture back then, was loud and aggressive and playful and silly and vulgar and
Spectacular! Spectacular!
people would brag and tell stories and they would be celebrated for bragging and telling stories. Lying was almost a cultural pastime. And that's, found its way through our culture still. We never really let go of that. We make excellent storytellers because of it. But I think this idea of notions, this idea of don't be too ambitious, I think that comes from our post-colonial history. And when you grow up in Ireland, the way I did, with so much culture from the US, and the US is the exact opposite. The US is a colonial power. So the US has this America first, big, bold, big statement. I'm here, I'm loud, I'm proud, and I love myself, and I'm worthy. That finds its way into its media, and that media finds its way into my house when I was a kid. And so now you have a generation of people like me who grew up with the Irish culture of notions and guilt and shame combined with the brazen culture of the US. And it's this kind of back and forth, strange clash of cultures, if you will. But I think it's time to let go of that. I think it's time to, I don't know, grow out of my own culture. I think it's another part of growing up to identify what it is that defined you as a child, what it is that built you and shaped you, and then to take control and agency and responsibility over that. So I'm gonna be a little bit more cringy. I'm gonna be a little bit more honest, a little bit more unpolished and weird. And I'm hopefully going to find something a little more honest in all of that. It's weird because like when I write in my journal each week, I find it very easy to be honest, a little bit too honest sometimes. That's absolutely fine for me. But talking to a camera like this, being in front of a crowd, that's hard. That's new to me. And I think 2026 is the year that I murder irony. It's the year that I murder sarcasm. It's the year that I kill all kind of doubt and shame and guilt about who I am, and what I've become and what I want to do. Because I want to take big swings. I still want to change the world. I still want to do things. And I think the permission to do that rests with me. And that's all I really wanted to say this week. I urge you to play Kingdom Hearts. I don't urge you to play Kingdom Hearts. It's too complicated. Don't do that to yourself. And then, you know, if you're bored, if you've got nothing else to do, watch Long Way Home or any of the other seasons that they did. You can look at Ewan McGregor 20 years ago driving across Russia. It is weird and fun and silly and wholesome and nice. And I think niceness is the break that we need. We need a vacation from all this intensity and violence and madness. So if you can take a break, do. You can fight again another time. Let somebody else carry it for a while. For now, I'm going to edit this video. And then I'll see you next week. I've got a schedule now, finally. New videos every Tuesday, new songs every Wednesday. So tomorrow I'm going to upload a song and I'm going to try to make it kind of like a Kingdom Hearts Hikaru Utada song. We'll see how that goes. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Kyrie! Sora! Kyrie! Remember what you said before? I'm always with you too. I'll come back to you. I promise. I know you will!
Your love, I see light. I see beauty in the stormy sky. I see love, I see light. I see